Hey, James Kingsley here. In this video, we're going to talk about how to hook up Lectora to your leaderboard code that we put on a Google spreadsheet. If you're not familiar with that part of the project, you can check out the other blog post on elearningbrothers.com, and that talks about how to set up your Google spreadsheet so that you can send and receive data to it to create our leaderboard application, if you will. And now in this video, we're going to talk through how to connect your Lectora course to that spreadsheet so that you can send your users guest name or their gamer tag to the spreadsheet along with their score, and then you can get back from that list of the top 10 users so that you can display in here. So it's a wonderful way to gamify and create a little bit friendly competition within your course. So I'm going to jump right in here. I have Lectora open, and I've already built for you this really simple file that you can download from the blog post as well. And when I say simple, I just mean I didn't bother with all the actual game part of it or the quiz or whatever it is you might want to attach this leaderboard to. I just strictly made a leaderboard page so that you can send and receive that bit of data. But it should be enough to guide you through adding it to your existing courses or creating a new course that incorporates this in there. So one of the first things we're going to need is a couple of variables, and basically we use 3 different variables for this. We have the user name, and we have the user score, and then we have a big variable just to catch the top 10 users that our Google spreadsheet is going to send back to us, and we're going to display those top 10 users in there. So let me take a look in my tools variables, and we can see where I've set up that top 10 message. Now that one is set up in there manually by me so that I can use it to display that list of top 10 that we're going to get back. Now also under the reserved, we'll see that we have the username and the score there. I've set those up as text entry fields on this page. In real life, you would probably have the user enter their gamer tag or their name on a slide at the beginning of the course, and then later you're going to use that to send to the spreadsheet. And for the score, you're probably not going to let the learner enter the score the way we are here. This is just a test file. You would create your score based on the game or the quiz. And just to remind you that when you create these text entry files, or fields, sorry, you get an opportunity here to name the variable that you're going to use. It'll fill in a default, but you're probably going to want to name that something that's going to make sense. The JavaScript file that you also download from the blog post has the usernames already set up as, the variable names already set up as username, user score, and that top 10 message. If for some reason you need to change those, you can. There's some instructions on the blog post, and there's some instructions in the JavaScript itself for changing that. It's easier if you can just use the variables names that I already created, but you can change it if you need to. All right, so we have those 2 on there. And then we have here, this is where we're going to display that message that we get back. So we're going to send the data up to the server, and it's going to send some data back, and we're going to display that data here. So let's take a look at the 2 triggers that I have on this send and receive button. The first action that happens when they click the button, oh, there it is. The first action is that we're going to run some JavaScript. Now that JavaScript you're going to download from the blog post, and it's right here, and you're going to want to paste in here the URL to your spreadsheet. And that information, how to get that URL, that's all in the first video on the blog post up there. So you paste that in here, then you copy all this, come back into your Lectora book, and we're going to paste all that in here. You can pop that out if you want to make it look easier. I've already pasted it in there, and you can see there's an example of what that URL is going to look like. So we got that. So it's going to, that script is going to grab their username, grab their score, and push it up to the server. Then it's going to wait just a second for the server to send some data back there. And it's going to set our variable top 10 message with that data. So the next thing that happens after they've clicked the button is we're going to update the contents of this box with the variable top 10 message. Now you'll notice I'm waiting 2 seconds here. With Lectora, the content that's being displayed doesn't automatically change when you update a variable in the background. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that that variable has been updated by the JavaScript before we display it on there. And so I've allotted for 2 seconds for that to happen. That should be more than enough time because it's just a little bit of data flying back and forth. In this example, I'm just displaying the word loading there. I'm sure you can come up with something more clever where you fade it in for 2 seconds, or you have a little progress bar or something for that 2 seconds to just let the learner know that something is happening there. Another way to do it would be to post the JavaScript on one page and then display the data on another page, and that would be a little break between the two there. And that's it. Once you have all that in there, then when you run this file, you can enter a username and a score, hit send and receive, and it will display for you the top 10 users for this application. So I hope that helps. I hope you enjoy this blog post. We have tons more on elearnbrothers.com that are also really cool. Thanks a lot.